Really, really nice. And another interesting one that we saw Vitalik, who's the founder of Ethereum, drop an open edition NFT. I mean, look, I'm pretty plugged into the space, right? I really am. I'm on Twitter all day. I've got a lot of alpha guys working for me. We do alpha within Discords. So I'm on all the news sites all the time, and I didn't hear about this collection at all. And I know most of the guys that usually hear about these things, or none of us heard about this at all. So we had him come and launch this open edition NFT, right? It's called Gitcoin, as you can see. It does continue to bleed in price, but where is it going to stop? We don't know. Currently 9,200 items. I think that's probably where they're going to cap it because minting has stopped, right? So, unless they've got some for the team that they're going to mint or whatever, but I doubt it will ever go more than 10,000. But there's a good chance that it stays here because that's the definition of an open edition. If it's not minted within a certain amount of time, then that's it, right? They say it's an open source project, and it's basically allowing you to have a record of an on-chain record of the quadratic funding collection featuring Vitalik and Zoe Itzhak. And this is what they look like over here. And if you go into one of them just to show you, obviously you've got different rarities and they all sort of hold a moment of Ethereum's history. So this is, one that's telling you, so have a look here, a record edition and a different color. So yeah, I mean, it's basically either going to go to zero or it's going to hold a huge historical value forever. One of the two. I don't think there's any middle ground on this particular one, to be very, very honest. But you can see how well it did. I mean, it went all the way up to zero point 0.6 Ethereum. Um, so on the day of mint, let's just start from the beginning. On the day of mint, there was 2,700 sales. The next day, 2,900 when people started hearing about it. The next day, 3,100 with an average price of zero point 0.6. And then the day after, 1,700 sales. And it's been coming down since that. Um, and then you had a bit of a jump there. So this is actually not days. This is every couple of hours because it only launched 2 days ago.
Dude, I don't know, bro. 0.25 looks kind of like a good little price there for Vitalik Buterin's NFT project. I will say, didn't he talk shit about NFTs though?
He's been talking a lot of shit about shitcoins after he's made an absolute bag on them.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
NFTs, I don't know. Look, this is quite interesting. I mean, this is a very straight line over here, keeping very consistent.
Yeah.
And then here, this drop is probably correlating with the big drop that we had in Bitcoin and Ethereum over there. This drop there. But I think it's too early. Usually I don't like to buy a collection within the first couple of days. I'll give it 2 weeks and see where it settles. Not financial advice. Everyone must do what they want, and sometimes it carries on rising. But I mean, even if you look here, offers to listings, 4 listings. It's not bad. Two. So there's not a lot of sell walls. I mean, it can get to 0.3 pretty easily. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
It's going to be
very,
interesting
very
to see.
interesting.
You see, Machi Big Brother owns 2,800 of these. So he's definitely a big believer in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy. That's a huge amount of them. Next book holder B6C. Very interesting. Very
Yeah,
interesting
man.
to
I'm gonna be
see.
keeping an eye on this because I don't give a fuck about that art really particularly, and I don't really understand or know what his intentions are. But having the founder of Ethereum drop a project on ETH and it's sitting there at a couple $100, I don't know. That's like a pretty healthy bet in my opinion. Like that's something I would rather put my money into than another degenerate PFP. Like, what do you think, Philip? You gonna snag one in a couple days? You think?
I think there's historical value. I mean, it's sort of like the Trump NFT from that perspective,
Mm.
like having the president, the first presidential and probably the last. I mean, I can't imagine any other president doing an NFT collection. So it does have historical significance from that perspective. No, this wouldn't be one. I'd sooner be saving up for that Animoca one than I would be interested in this good coin. I'm bullish on that Anomoka one personally. I mean, again, that's just personal, and it's brand new, and the price could settle much lower than it is. I'm just saying, long term, I'm going to watch that Anomoka one because they are builders in the space. They have funded a lot of big projects. So to have their NFT, you can imagine any future projects you'll get whitelist for. And they also really invested in the space. They've put a huge amount of money into gaming and into the space. And they want to be the Web3 gaming company of the future. And they've invested in dozens and dozens of projects. So, they're not going anywhere. So long term, I'd be more bullish in that than those historical NFT like this personally. Don't know. That's just me personally.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the chat. What if you guys are gonna snag one, like what y'all are thinking? That's a tough one. That's a tough one, but I'm gonna definitely keep my eye on this.
Yeah, I mean, I think having ETH in and of itself is sort of the same as Gitcoin, right? I don't
Mm,
know. So, do you know what I mean? If you believe in the ecosystem, just have some ETH. And so if you buy any NFT in Ethereum, you're exposed to Vitalik and Ethereum. And I don't know.
sure, sure.
I'm sure it's going to track the market like we saw. It's going to
Mm,
track Ethereum. It's like exactly like we've seen here. As the ETH price dumps, so did the price of this. Like if you could look at OpenSea and see the Ethereum price, I would guarantee you the chart, if you put it over this chart, looks almost identical to this. So rather just buy zero point 0.2 ETH, just keep it in ETH or buy, I don't know. That's my feeling on it.